What's up, y'all? It's your girl Queen P, and I am back with another video. What's up? What's up? I mean, it's only been a few days, but what's good? What's good? I mean, how y'all doing? Talk to me. What's up? Today's video is talking about big companies versus small companies. Yes, we're gonna get straight into this video. Okay, you guys, so I know I've talked to you guys about picking smaller companies, and I say smaller companies because you're able to see, your family more. They're not as strict as bigger companies. They tend to pay more, and you usually can find what you're looking for. Like if you don't really want to be over the road, a smaller company will take you, but you have to get your experience in first before they even look at your application. So you would have to go, to a bigger company. Some people did not even go to a bigger company though, so it just depends if you get lucky or not. But most of the time when you're starting out, you're gonna have to start at a big company and get your time in, like, 6 or 7 months to a year. And after you do that, after you put your time in, you can go to smaller companies and find something closer to home, or, more local or regional or dedicated. Because dedicated, you could get home like every other day. And you know what I'm saying? Unless you got kids or something, you don't really need to be home every day. You're not missing nothing, I promise. So when you wake up that next day and you on your way home, you're going to get home and you're going to be able to, unwind and do what you want to do. But some people want to be home every day. You can find that too with smaller companies. But what I also have discovered, guys, is that the smaller companies are not as good as they were before. And I say that because a lot of smaller companies, I don't know if it's because the recession has hit, because yes, we are in a recession. They, finally announced that smaller companies have become very shisty, like scamming kind of, like they're giving scamming vibes. And I say scamming because, they're trying to take more out of your check. They're telling their drivers that they will pay them a certain percentage, and really it's not even that percentage. It's some smaller companies telling you that they're paying 30%, but really they're only really paying you like 26 or 27%.
Are you stupid or something?
And then they say, oh, it's a fee for this and that, trying to take it out of the driver's checks. Like it's a lot of stuff going on with smaller companies. I've never been a big fan of bigger companies because, some of them have forced dispatch, or, you can't really negotiate, the time you need to be home or whatever. They really don't care. They just want you to run the loads. Granted, they could be the same for smaller companies, but bigger companies tend to, they don't give you as much time as you might need to be off, or, to do things that you need to be doing. But I will say this, bigger companies have been turning it up a notch. I've been looking at, jobs. I do this even when I'm at a job, I'm always looking at jobs. And bigger companies been offering a lot, like coverage wise. And that's another thing. Smaller companies don't never have no coverage.
Really, nigga?
But they be having the nerve, try to give people headaches about, certain stuff, like, paying the certain percentage that you said you were going to pay and all of that. They don't really be having their stuff together. Like, they don't have any contracts. Like, they're literally waking up daily to find you a load, and you really have to like sit and wait. Some smaller companies are like that, and that is annoying. Like once I catch on to that, I'll be like, yeah, no, this might not be the move, because if you don't have constant contracts, that means I'm going to be waking up at a certain time to be at the truck, and then I got to wait there until you find me a load. That gets annoying at times, because once you get to, your delivery to deliver the load, then you got to wait for another load for me to, get back home. That's annoying. Like, smaller companies tend to, they don't have, I guess, a big of a name, so they don't have any contracts. But my thing is, if you've been in the game for like 7 years, why don't you have, dedicated routes or contracts? I feel like you should have contracts if you've been in the game for like 7 years. I just feel like a lot of small companies, they are brand new, or they've been in the game for a minute and still don't know how to run their company. And that, I feel like, is a lack on the person that is owning the company, because I feel like you should be studying that. You should be studying trucking day in and day out. You should be learning different things, because being an owner operator, you shouldn't be comfortable at all. Like, you should be maneuvering around and figure out, like, all right, how can I make this easier? How can I make this easier for my drivers? How can I get a set schedule? Those things you should be way past if you've been in here 8 years. But I guess it's, everyone has different stories. I don't know the story, but it comes off as you just all over the place. the drivers are going to be stressed out because you're all over the place. You're unorganized, so the drivers are going to know that your company is unorganized. They're already automatically going to notice that. But with bigger companies, they offer you benefits, 401k if you're into that. And you know, they usually tell you straight up what it is. Like, oh, it's forced dispatch, it's not forced dispatch. You're gonna get home, you know, weekly. It's not daily, you're gonna be home weekly. You know, you're gonna have your 34 or 48 hour reset at home. That's how big companies are coming now, you know, and they're offering more money now. Like literally, a lot of companies are paying. I've seen a few big companies that are paying like 68 cents per mile, 70 cents per mile. They have raised their pay. But, you know, I just feel like with bigger companies, I don't like the ones where you have to, you know, do a low. You can't, you know, turn it down. Like, hey, I don't think that's for me. Like, they make you do it. Those kind of companies I try to stay away from. But yeah, guys, I feel like bigger companies seem like they have their stuff more together. Of course, because they already have their contracts set in stone. You know, that's just how they work. And they already got work for you. You ain't got to wait for it. You already, pew. But with smaller companies, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of owner-operator companies in Houston, but I feel like it's a lot of trash out there. And that's not me being mean. I just feel like it's a lack of care for the drivers and for the company itself. You know, I've had to tell a few owner-operators, like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to run your company. And you know what's crazy is that they agree, like, yeah, I know. You know, I'm like, you've been in the game too long for your stuff to be all over the place like this. And it's nothing but the truth, though, because it's like the owner-operators are chasing the money themselves. You know, they got trucks they pay for daily. If they don't own a truck outright, they paying for it daily. A lot of companies are leasing through Penske, so they're paying for the truck daily, you know? So they're really just trying to get the truck on the road, so they be telling drivers anything. So you have to really weed out the bad companies. There's a lot of bad companies, and I feel like it's getting worse because we're in a recession. So people are scrambling for money. You know what I'm saying? They trying anything to get money. So I feel like the small companies do not look good right now. Like, that's how I feel. How do you guys feel? Like, don't get mad at my opinion. Like, tell me how you feel about it. Because even in bad times, your real character gonna show. And it should always be true and pure no matter what's going on. You know, you gotta hold your head and you gotta treat people right and correctly no matter what your situation is, you know? Some people go into survival mode. They're like, hey, they love you with conditions. So when it get hard, oh, best believe you in the crossfire.
Surprise, motherfucker.
They will take from you too. You know, that's just how a lot of people feel. It's eat or be eaten when it's in hard times. And you know, I can't get with that. But yeah, that's what I feel like it is right now. A lot of small companies seem very shiesty, you know, and that's a waste of time. Being a truck driver, I'm a very consistent hard worker. I don't like all that bouncing around stuff, you know. And with Houston, I always take my time now, you know, after the first few companies, because I feel like, yeah, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm trying to find me a good company and just chill, make my money and go on by my business. You know, I don't get too caught up in all that extra stuff. You know, I'm just not extra when it comes to trucking. I let trucking be trucking, and I do what I do. I just do what I do. I do it real well, you know. That's just how I want everybody to think. Like, even if you're, you know, you haven't even started yet, you're still in school, make sure you pay attention to the stuff they are offering. Because a lot of small companies, like I said, do not have benefits. With big companies, you cover, you know, you got to pay like maybe $25, $35 if you're an individual by yourself. If you got kids, you know, of course it's more. You got a husband and all of that. But, you know, they not offering nothing but money in 1099 most of the time. And it's kind of like, that's cool when you young or whatever, but when you get older, medical is important, you know, regardless if nothing is wrong with you. Sometimes people just want to go to the doctor to make sure they're good. And you should be able to go. So if you are that kind of person, do not go for a smaller company. Go for a mid-sized company. You don't got to be super big, but go for something where they have more than 3 or 4 trucks, 5, 6. You know, you just want to make sure that you're not wasting your time and that you're getting the bang for your buck. So bigger companies versus smaller companies. Let's just break that down, because I know I'll be talking, you know, trying to get the information out there. So bigger companies, they already have customers locked in. So you got constant work. They have medical, health insurance. They have dental insurance. They have 401k. You know what I'm saying? Some companies even match you. And then, you know, you have a constant start time and end time. You don't have to worry about, you know, waking up and sitting. So bigger companies, you know what time you start and you know what time you're getting off. You know where you're going and where you're not going. You know, if they have dedicated lanes, they'll tell you to have local, dedicated, regional, over the road. You know, that's what it is. You know, they don't really hide nothing from you. It's either forced dispatch or no forced dispatch. Now the pay, I feel like everybody don't be telling the truth about the pay. Whether that's a bigger company or a smaller company, that's up to you. You will find that out once you get your first check, obviously. So I can't tell you about that, but you know, I feel like the bigger companies have been trying to up the pay because inflation has went up. So yeah, I feel like they're doing their little one thing right now. I feel like the mid-sized and bigger companies are offering way more. So that's good to see. I've been, you know, looking on the job market. That's cool. So smaller companies, you get 1099, which is not, 1099 is when you get all of your money and you have to take care of the taxes. Most of them do not have W-2. Most smaller companies do not have benefits. I mean, nothing to offer at all. So you just asked out if something happened to you. Like, that's the risk you're taking if you take a smaller company with no benefits. And I feel like they stay in business for people who more so, you know what I'm saying, just want the money regardless. So they tend to offer more money, but you don't have no benefits. So if you think about it, if you factor in getting medical and all of that, imagine paying for medical. Medical be like, it be so expensive when it's not with a company. Like, it be over $200, some of them. And you have to pay for that out of your pocket. So really, you have to, you know, factor in all of that. Even though you're getting paid more, you still missing out because you have to pay all your full health benefits by yourself. Like, no, especially if y'all got kids. I know that's not good for you. But hey, everybody's situation is different. Whatever you choose, whatever you choose. So like I said, with smaller companies, no benefits. They usually do not have no constant accounts. So you are sitting. Some of the smaller companies do have accounts, and that is amazing. If you find a smaller company that has accounts, constant accounts, oh, you good, you in there, I would take it. And you know, some smaller companies do offer benefits, but it's not a lot of them. Also with the percentage thing, guys, a lot of smaller companies tend to offer a percentage of the whole load, right? Start asking for the rate card. If they give you hassle about the rate card is the paperwork. It shows you how much the broker is paying the owner operator. And if they have an issue with that, then that might be a red flag. Seriously, I ran into that before as well because, you know, it's a lot of drivers that have jobs where they book their own load. So don't let them lie to you and tell you it's information you can't see on there or something like that. That's not true. So yeah, that's your options, guys, with smaller companies, bigger companies. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that a little bit. And we could chime in more about it in the comments because I don't want this to be super long. But there's pros and cons to both sides, you know. But what I have learned is just because smaller companies are paying more does not mean you're actually going to get that. They really be trying to clickbait now to get you in the seat and make money because they're not really making money. Their trucks are sitting. So you have to really pay attention now, especially in this recession, y'all. Like, people are getting really shady. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like I always say, I will always try to bring you guys the best content. But I always be my what? Myself. All day, every day. All day. Bye.